My name is Kernaghan.
I'm Janelle Kernaghan, and we've been together we've been married for 13 years now. After about 7 years of marriage, we decided we wanted to start a family. Stevie came along in July of 2021. She was born on July 5th.
Being a first-time dad, it comes with its challenges of learning a rhythm and learning how we were going to manage this beautiful new creation and finding ways to find sleep and just serve each other through this time of learning. And there was lots of grace. But ultimately, we were super excited.
So at around a month old, I was having some troubles with getting Stevie to feed properly and stuff. So I went to a feeding clinic where there's a doctor who could sort of support me in that. While I was there, the doctor mentioned Stevie's breathing. So she basically asked me does she always breathe like that? And obviously that's very concerning as a first-time mom. You already have worries and anxieties around your child. And so she suggested right away that I bring her to the ER just to get her looked at and stuff. We were still concerned, even after 2 different doctors saying, you're good to go. It was still concerning. So we brought her back to the ER again, and we got them to do a chest x-ray on her. And that's basically when they noticed that something was wrong.
So Stevie was diagnosed with dilated cardiomyopathy. In simple terms, it's pretty much just the enlargement of the heart.
After Stevie's diagnosis, we spent some time in the hospital in Winnipeg, in the ICU. Once we got to Edmonton, then we basically realized then that we were waiting for a heart transplant for Stevie. They told us it would be 6 months to a year, approximately. One of the things that often came up while we were in this journey of waiting for a heart is Jesus enough? So, we didn't have the comforts of finances or a job. We didn't have our own home. And we also we didn't have the promise of good health for our child either, right? We don't have any of those things promised to us. So that really only leaves your relationship with Jesus. So outside of that, we had nothing, right? So I think recognizing that, we really leaned into that, and we actually were able to really rest in that.
God spoke to me audibly 3 times, and God asking me to trust him. And I just thought the human response was, no way, this is not what I had in mind as a first-time dad. And I just, went in to do my normal dad duties, hospital dad duties. And one of the doctors, one of the heart transplant physicians came in, and he started talking, and I don't even know what he said, but I just completely interrupted him, as I do best. And I said, actually, I know what you're about to tell me. And he says, so what is that? I says, Stevie's getting an offer today. And I remember him looking at me and being stunned and being like, what do you mean? How do you know? He says, well, God told me this morning.
Yeah, so Stevie got her offer for her heart transplant on February 25th of 2022. And she's just started getting better from there. Continued to get stronger, and the medications we were starting to be able to do less and less medications as she went along. And then about 2 weeks post-transplant, we were able to take her out of the hospital for the first time. So very fun driving her away from the hospital and getting to live real life again after so long.
Yeah, becoming a mom and dad again outside of the hospital. And I think you had said there was in that first year 100 hospital visits within that first year.
Yeah.
So it was busy. But yeah, it was a beautiful moment coming home and just being in those 4 walls again and out of the 4 walls of the hospital. There was a moment where you had said, well, we didn't come all this way to live in fear. And I remember that just being a foundation that we made our decisions on. Hey, you know what? God doesn't do just a half miracle. And we kind of just led with that. As much as we understood at the time, we're like, hey, you know what? We've come this far. And yet, we had a story now, and we had a testimony to share from our hearts, and things we've learned in this, season of wilderness, essentially. And yeah, it was like God just spoke to us and was like, hey, I have something for you. I have a yes for you.
Yeah, Kurt joined the worship team, and I pushed myself out of my comfort zone and started handing out coffee and getting to know people that way, and just like being really dedicated to getting to know people.
Yeah.
So that, so much so that looking back, I'm like, a year ago, I wouldn't have imagined, having the support and the people around me, and just being actually so excited to come to church, so excited to serve, and do all those things, and so excited to be in the presence of Jesus.
Yeah, it's just such a testimony of what God has already done for us. And our yes is just a small portion we can give back to the goodness of our Father. God has this beautiful way of turning bad things into blessings. Stevie is such a little light, just a light that you just can't put out. We feel like she's already accepted, Jesus into her little heart, and it's a big one now. And she's just, forging her own way in her own faith. And she's been super stable. And we believe that we got many more years with that heart. And we just know that God's gonna have something big for her next chapter in her life. And we're just gonna be along for the ride.
I think it's impossible to share our story without there being an overlying theme of the goodness of God. And that goes even beyond Stevie's transplant and into our lives now. And there is just, every time we have said yes to God, there's been a blessing that follows. And I think that's just a testament to who God is. Yeah.